Thank you. This is Big Band 1, and interestingly, this is actually an assessment for a couple of students here, believe it or not. So this is part of a component of their music studies assessment for tonight, so we hope we play really well. I just wanted to thank Paul Yankovic, Colin Dolly, Gabriel Chow and Tom Voss, four amazing musicians for taking sectionals and working with these guys each week. And also to Alex Taylor, again, for filling in. We don't have a trombone for, so to complete that section. And the little fella at the back on drums, John McDermott, he's our drum teacher, and he's here because Freddie, he's gone to Milo for a soccer camp. No, he's actually touring with the Australian Youth Orchestra at the moment. So he's away interstate. So he didn't tell me that until recently. So so John very kindly has offered to fill in, came to rehearsal yesterday and is filling in. That's a Sammy Nestico tune called Gold Coffee, and it featured Aidan on baritone, Ryan on trombone, and Gerard on piano. We'd like to do another tune. It's called Killer Joe. It's from Quincy Jones' album, the late 90s, called Quincy's Juke Joint. Did you not know we were doing this? Why are you turning your pages frantically? So we're doing Killer Joe, everyone. And yeah, Quincy Jones' tune, and this will feature Will on alto, Aidan on baritone, and Shaylin on trombone. Thank you. We'd like to play one more Sammy Nestico tune, one of my favourite arrangers. This comes from there's a series called The Purple Books, which Gabriel Chama, who's one of our saxophone teachers, told me that every time at Adelaide Uni when the big band used to do a bad gig, they'd drag out the Purple Books and go back to the basics and get everything in tune. And that's not why we picked this tune, by the way. But this is a little tune, a little gospel number called Down the Road, and it's going to feature Harry on guitar. Harry's in year 8. Thank you. Like Chris before and Kelly before, we have a few Year 12s. Not too many this year. We were really worried at the end of last year. We lost a whole bunch and we thought, oh well, this is going to be rebuilding, but these guys have done a fantastic job. Being such a young band, playing quite difficult music, so I'm really proud of what they've done, and it's been good to work with them this year. But I will acknowledge a couple of students. Firstly, Will, on lead alto. Now, Will, we know who Will is. Will's he's the leader of Big Band One, and I'm not going to say too many nice things. Just one little incident that happened earlier this year where he came to band on a Tuesday morning and said, "I can't find my saxophone." And I thought, well, that's unusual, so we had a look around, and I think probably half an hour into rehearsal, he came back and said, "Oh, I found it." I said, "Where was it?" "In the keyboard note." I said, "Well, how did it get there?" He said, "I left it there last Thursday." I don't know how you could lose an instrument like that and be so relaxed about it, but good on you, Will. Shailen's our captain of music, a very unassuming leader who has developed into a really good trombonist. He has been in the Generations in Jazz super bands for 2 years in a row, and he also plays lead trombone in the Jazz SA Super Band 2, which is a fantastic effort because that's a mix of high school students and university students. And I guess one little thing about Shailen is that for many, many years he was always early to rehearsal until he got his licence. And that's such a common thing with Year 12 students. They get their licence, and anyway. And then there's Shailen's better half, Stella, back here, who is, we've already talked about Stella, which is in heaps of ensembles, outside musicals, played the lead role in Mamma Mia, and directed senior vocal ensemble, as Chris mentioned, on the night. And she also was 2 years in the Generations in Super Band on Vibes and Congas. So an outstanding musician. But sincerely, to you three, you have made a wonderful and long-lasting contribution to music, and I will miss you greatly, believe it or not. So, see, things I'm joking. I will miss you, Stella. I will be. But it's been really good working with these guys, and I guess I'm pleased that we won't lose the three of them, but they've been fantastic to work with. So could we please acknowledge our resources? Just very quickly, a couple of thanks to Darren, once again, who's videotaping for the ensemble performance, and don't forget we've got a bar test tomorrow. To Jamie on the door, and for all the work that she's done. To Paul and John on lighting and sound, who are out of their comfort zone in this area, but do everything in the EMC. I don't know if you remember, 5 years ago we had on a night like this, we had a major blackout. Do you remember that? And the whole of Adelaide was blacked out. Well, I was here setting up for the gig, and I'd set everything up, and then everything went off, and so I had to drive home with all the gear. We only had one van then, so today I sort of set up the van, and John and Paul brought all their gear in another van, so we've grown to use 2 vans. But their work has been fantastic, and they've been great support to music, so big thanks to Paul and John for their. I'd also like to thank Joe, Hugh and Aiden for helping load the van today. A big thanks to the Norwood Hotel for supporting live music. I was here last Thursday night watching Hugh and Shailen and old scholar Andrew Draper as a part of the Jazz SA Super Bands, and so Norwood do this every term, and we're so pleased. So big thanks to the Norwood Hotel and the staff of the Norwood Hotel for having us. And I'd also like to thank you all for coming out and supporting live music, but also all the students that perform tonight. They are, as all of the other staff have said, a pleasure to work with. And we are going to continue in term 4, of course, because we've got a bunch of things happening, but this is kind of the end of almost the end of the big band year, I guess. We like to finish with one more tune. Oh, and most importantly, well done to all the students here and those that are at the back supporting in vocal ensembles, jazz ensembles and big bands. So well done guys, it's been a great night, so thank you very much. Thanks again for coming out. We're going to play one last tune. I'm going to introduce Juliet, who's going to sing with the big band. And, this is a tune called LOVE, and it's dedicated to our Year 12 students.
Thank